Oh, my legs are so tired. This was a big fucking day.
This is Matilda right at the very end of our mission to Lofoten this summer.
Yeah, big day.
This scenic island lies in the very northern parts of Norway and contains some of the most majestic landscapes that I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Basically, you're surrounded by mountains that make you believe in these old Norse mythologies, you know, like gods living inside of them. Lofoten is most well known for its incredible traditional climbing. There's kind of an endless amount of cracks to be found in all difficulties and in all styles. But on top of that, there's also sport climbing crags with some of the most gorgeous looking rock that I have ever seen.
Whoa! Oh my god.
And we wanted to explore, well, partly all of this, but my biggest goal was to find new boulders and brush them up, because I was pretty sure that considering the endless amount of rock that can be found here, there has to be potential for more bouldering as well. With us was of course our ragtag crew of people, such as Cordelia right here, who is the main camera woman capturing a lot of our adventures. We also had our gorgeous photographer and hype lord William, as well as Will Burkett, a charming and also quite witty lad from the United Kingdom.
We saw some boulders up there, but they're an hour and a half walk. You should really check them out though.
Will is supposed to be our trad coach for this trip, but we wanted to start things off on the sport climbing crag of Eggum. This place is kind of something out of a fairy tale. However, like most beautiful things here in life, there's also a shitty side to this crag. That's right, located in a massive pile of sheep shit lies some of the best rope climbing that I have ever seen, and Matilda wanted to try one of the hardest and best looking lines on the wall, Atakakoua.
It feels super nice. This type of granite climbing is truly something special. I don't think I've ever climbed a route, or like the routes that I've done here today, like I've never found like a granite route as interesting and as varied as these routes. Like the formations are just really unique and cool. So it's very exciting. Oh no! We're at the crux of the route, and some very interesting climbing, like super physical, good holds, but the feet are like literally where your chin is, and they're pretty bad. So I'm trying to like figure out what the best sequence here is. So yeah, I guess we'll see. I'll try some different methods here. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Nice, so all the moves are done and all the sequences. I think I've found the beta that suits me. So ready to make a scent go from the ground. Woo, you can take Will.
To nobody's surprise, Matilda managed to fire the route right away, which meant that it was time to move on and try and find some untouched boulders. But first, we decided to visit one of my favorite boulders on Earth, called Kingfisher. Now this one represents very well what is so incredibly special about this place. You have these amazing views combined with superb friction and of course the gorgeous lines. Now this line is a big reason why I wanted to visit Lofoten, as I'd been here about 5 years ago, and back then I saw this incredible huge field of boulders that I'd been dreaming of visiting ever since I was so sure there was another Kingfisher waiting for us among the blocks. Unfortunately, dreams don't very often align with reality, and once I actually got to the boulders I noticed they were all pretty shite. There was either very loose rock or terrible landings, as well as not many apparent lines to be climbed. And so we left what felt like a swamp-filled disaster to drive back towards the others, which is when Cordelia spotted something from the road.
Okay, first mission, first boulder that I've found on this voyage. We've been wandering through muck and mire for hours, literally finding nothing but scraps and scrambles. And now, on the way back to the others, roadside, Cordy spots this incredibly glorious boulder by the road. Well, that's why it's roadside. And we're gonna go and check it out. I've already looked at it briefly, and now I brought the wire brush and the ladder. We're just gonna make it climbable, and hopefully we'll have a new line established on Lofoten Islands. Brushing's going pretty well, but the only thing I'm realizing is that this one is gonna be potentially impossible. We'll see. There's like a jug for the start, and then the holds are just not great. But I still think there's potential, so I definitely want to give it a proper go. First move works. Oh my god, that's hard. Whew. I don't know if the heel is the way to go. Maybe I should just have my toe on right away. I also need to check out the holes again, because it was really hard to figure out like where to grab with the left hand. There's a good pinch higher up, but it was slightly too far. So yeah, I'll check out the holes and see what's better. Oh shit! I was at the pinch, which means that there is potential. Ah! Yes! Yes, that works! Woo! The toe on was the key. Then I could like keep on locking, and ooh, I'm not sure that's the way to go after, but I went to the intermediate nothing hold and that kind of worked. So maybe I have something here. Okay, day one on the proj. Unfortunately, this little bugger is gonna make me have to call quits, but I'll come back in a few days refreshed with proper skin and see if it's actually possible.
At this point I knew the boulder had potential, but I wanted to try out the top, and as a pebble wrestler I had no idea how to put up a rope on one of these things, so I brought in the veterans to help me out.
Welcome to my boulder.
Hello.
It's alright, but it's no big wall, is it?
Tried that.
He's got a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Shocking. That's the reaction I was looking for. So,
Yeah.
I was surprised.
This is,
really.
That's the starting hole?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you come up here.
Well,
no. Maybe.
Maybe. Potentially.
Do you know, like,
It's
have you felt the
pretty shit.
sloper rail? Yeah.
It's let's see if my setup is trad dad approved. See.
Will helped me out by rigging up the rope so that I could try the top without, having to do it ground up every time. Now doing this move with the assistance of the rope was something that happened quite quickly, but the goal was of course to try and do it without.
What? Okay. Yeah!
Kom igen.
Yes!
The more I tried it, the more I realized that this thing is definitely possible. There's nothing here that doesn't go, but it does require superb friction, a very good mentality, and a lot of focus.
Okay, session 2.5 is finished and it's been very successful. I've unlocked the last move and I've refined a few details in the lower part. That's the start, folks.
Everything was starting to come together, and now it's time to fully wire down the top move.
Okay, this is the move. Like, this is the one you dyno off of. It's like a 45-degree slopey, like quarter-inch, no, not even that, like 1/8 of an inch hold. Literally just texture on the wall, and you pretend like it's a hold, and then you have to dyno off of that. And it only works because you've got a pretty big right foot and a decent pinch for the left. But this is like the worst hold I've ever jumped off of. So let's do some jumping. So that's the big crux, but right now I'm doing it with a little bit of rope to help me. You don't really want to fall here is the thing. If you fall on that move, it's going to be pretty scary.
It was starting to become pretty obvious that this boulder wasn't going to go down easy, and so I wanted to give it some rest, recover my skin, and see what Matilda was up to instead.
She had this moment where she was like, oh, maybe I should do some bouldering as well. And this was maybe like 4 weeks into her trip where she literally had not been bouldering whatsoever. And so I took her to this 8A called Sunshine, and I don't know how, but she cruised it second go. Like, something happened on the first go, she fell somewhere, didn't really think of it, and then just second go, walked up it. I hadn't even put on the camera. And so I was like, Mama, Matilda, can't you just, why do you, are you already up it? And she's like, yeah, I can climb it again, whatever. Hopped on it a second time and just, yeah, did it like with ease. And it's just kind of representative of her as a climber. Like, she just can do these really hard, difficult, tensiony climbs like it's nothing. And then apply that to everything, like trad, sport, boulder. She just has like that multi-discipline style that I really want to achieve myself, and I feel I have a lot to learn from her as a climber. I don't know how she does it, but yeah, she's figured out a way to push her athleticism as a climber like nobody else I've ever met before, which is really freaking cool.
It's been quite some progression since we started about 1.5 months ago. I feel like getting into the process of learning how to trad climb has really sparked some sort of new joy in climbing for me. It's been, such a motivating process, and because usually when I sport climb, there's often like an element of challenge that needs to be involved in order for me to really be keen and motivated to try really, really hard when it comes to sport climbing. And I guess same with bouldering. Like, there needs to be an element of challenge there, and I really like that. Like, that's part of why I like climbing. But I really like also to like push myself, and that there's a proper challenge, and then that often means difficult climbing. But now, like discovering trad climbing and learning how to trad climb, it's been sort of like this very romantic process of like, you know, seeing a line that looks really beautiful and feeling that, oh, I really want to climb that, and oh, I'm going on this journey, and it's like a complete new set of movements and learning how to place gear and building anchors, and it's all been like very, very motivating and like feeling very inspired, so it's cool. I think it's partly the process of being a complete beginner and like discovering this new world of climbing almost. And then also the fact that trad climbing doesn't need to be hard climbing in order to be like challenging. I feel like I have so much easier to get into this like complete focus and like flow state if I'm trad climbing. Like it's almost as if that happens automatically. Whereas in sport climbing and bouldering, I feel like I need like a proper challenge in order to like switch to that type of mindset. Whereas in trad climbing, it just, whatever route I jump on, it's like, okay, rest of the world is just blocked. And I'm just like here in this moment.
Matilda's a hard one to pin down. So every time I go climbing with someone, I try and get as many photos as possible. And normally when you go climbing with someone, it's relatively easy to get photos. You set up a good belay and then you've got them on the gree and you're taking a photo down at them. And they're pulling some hard kind of moves and they're stretching the body and it looks pretty cool. It's hard with Matilda because she makes everything look very easy. So everything she does, even the things that are hard for me, I look down and it's like she's just kind of walking up it and it's absolutely chill. And her facial expressions are just like, oh, chill, up there. So it's kind of a shocking experience to climb with someone who's that talented and that good. It really puts things into perspective, the kind of upper echelons of elite climbing. Yeah, so it's amazing to see.
As you may have realized by now, Matilda's skill and strength as a climber is something to behold, and I rarely get to see her struggle. But there was this point during our trip where we decided to venture up to the top of a route called Lady of the Lake. Of course, first we had to go through the massive hike and hustle of getting there.
So we're literally walking through a jungle of, whatever these are called, and making progress to get to the top so we can try to do some climbing. We see Emil emerging out of the bushes. Where are you? Where are you?
After about a 2-hour voyage that made me question my entire existence, we finally got to the top of the wall, and it was time to start rigging up the rope to try this incredible line.
Okay. You want this then?
Yeah. It's like that. And do you have another sling as well?
Oh.
Lady of the Lake sits about 200 meters above the ground, and it definitely has the views that makes you want to try it. But the holes, well, they're kind of non-existent. And the feet, well, they're even worse. And the gear they were supposed to place to keep them safe, well, that also didn't exist.
Very, very marginal placements.
Happy with that one?
No. Definitely not.
It's super technical, and it's really like, I think everything is just about where you can place your feet, because you're literally like, I mean, standing on the tiniest of crystals. So and yeah, like very interesting climbing, because I mean, you don't know if you want to be like lee backing or finger locking the crack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very interesting climbing.
Matilda and Will kept fighting it out on this route, but it was honestly the most sketchy thing that I have seen in my entire life. I think this level of trad climbing is definitely something that we'll want to achieve one day, but for this trip to Lofoten, this was just too extreme to handle. And so we decided to call it quits, grab the experience, grab the lessons we got out of this, and move on to new adventures. But of course, we had to first make it back down again.
This type of adventure. You kind of look like a Duke of Edinburgh kid who's just stumbled out of the wilderness.
My legs are shaking like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They were nice enough to let me rest after this mission, but Matilda wasn't gonna back down from an adventure. She wanted a full trad experience out here in Lofoten, and so she and Will decided to try Storpilaren.
So this is what we're up against now. This crack meeting the corner up there, and Will's gonna take the lead.
Oh yeah.
Getting up this thing is something out of my nightmares. You have to be up on the wall for more than 8 hours fighting loose, chossy rock, and that's the only way to get to the top.
Psyched?
Yeah. Have to be now. There's only one way off.
The only one way off!
I honestly can't explain how sketchy this entire thing was, but it was even worse when Will got down and told us about the experience.
Honestly though, like the Rockfact's description for the whole route is so bad. It's terror. Like honestly, like it could get someone killed, and it doesn't tell you how to get off the thing either, which is like really crucial, because you just end up on a pillar of like death walls all around you and massive drops. And there's like one way out, and there's about a million ways not the way out.
Perfect!
That just lead to never-ending chasms of droppages.
Luckily, the adventure at Storpilaren ended, well, rather peacefully, with us all gathered at 1 in the morning, eating food and talking about the adventures.
Climbing.
Chossy Yosemite.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
And while the big mountains did inspire me, my mission to establish new boulders here was still underway, and we spotted this incredible feature along the road that we simply had to check out.
So you're gonna see if there's a jug hiding underneath this rail of moss. It does look promising, but it could also be a bad sloper, and then we're just gonna call it quits right away. But I'm gonna dig it out and see. Oh wow, yeah, it's kind of a jug.
So with faith that this boulder was climbable, we decided to start brushing off all the holes. This is a process that takes quite a while, and a couple of hours later I was finally on the rocks trying out the moves. It started off on a very elegant slab, where you get to climb on this very thin undercling seam and work a lot with your feet. Now these initial couple of moves were relatively easy, and they didn't demand a ton from me. However, after a while you end up in this very intimidating position where you have to jump out of this scoop to catch the jug at the top. And this definitely warrants some hesitation.
Oh my god, det är så läskigt.
Nej, jag har inte i mig. I was trying to break it, but it's really, for me, it's only the dyno that's possible. So next go, 100% in. This is it. Now it's gonna happen. Oh! Okay, I'm alive, but that was intense.
This attempt in particular was kind of a bummer. Partly because I didn't actually, get the boulder, but mainly because when I fell down, I landed on my wrist and it kind of broke. It wasn't great afterwards. Because of this, I decided to take a little break and go on some big wall adventures with my mate Will, because I also wanted to learn how to trad climb.
Hi, Will. That's good.
It's very good. So Will, how was it to take a boulderer up on a big wall?
It's pretty sketchy. Some of the gear was terrible. The rope work was terrible. But no, you did really well. Yeah.
We did make it to the top,
Yeah,
didn't we?
did, yeah. No, really well. I'm surprised actually. It's your third time out trad climbing?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like, I did a 500 meter wall after. So, yeah.
Smashed it.
Boom. Nice. Good effort.
Session number 2 on the project. My wrist has healed somewhat decently. I don't want to fall on it, but it's still decent. I have more pads, and it's time to send it.
Yes. Oh, fucking hell. Woo! Hey!
Success.
I'm really quite happy with that, as after I sprayed my ankle on it, or wrist on it, I wasn't sure I wanted to try it again, but I've been obsessing about it. And then when this recovered so fast, I was kind of like, I gotta do it. I'm so psyched. I was so sure, because the beta I found with a jug on the left that I discovered spraying my wrist was like so stuck in my mind that it would work. And yeah, to get it done on the first attempt was definitely, felt really freaking cool. Psyched about that one. Time to find some more bowlers to get on.
After I'd done a mad rock jump, I started looking for more boulders along the island to brush up. The thing is, my wrist hadn't fully recovered yet, so the big project that was on my mind was still unclimbable for me. So I found some easier stuff that I wanted to get on and got those ready for the next generation of climbers that will visit this island. However, I couldn't get the Beacon of Light project, as I'd called it, out of my mind, and I had to go back one more time. The only problem was that the trip was starting to come to a close, and I knew I wouldn't have much more time to try it out, so I decided to let my wrist recover as much as possible and go back on the very last day of our trip to try and wrap it up. When I got to the boulder, it was as intimidating as ever, but I had more confidence, the conditions were much better, and I started to feel a certain flow on the wall that I hadn't felt before. However, the rain was approaching, and I knew I would only have a few attempts to be able to wrap this boulder up.
Kom igen.
No! Oh my god! What? Oh
the last day on the project, and first 2 attempts have gone like really well. But the rain is kind of hitting, and I fell a little bit weird on the wrist. It's recovering quickly. It's like not painful right now. Just the sprain that I kind of strained a bit, so it just started hurting a little bit. But I think I'm gonna give it one more go and like really, yeah, try and get it done.
Yes! Oh. Yes! Yes!
Oh, I got the left hand pinch so bad, I didn't think I would have it. And then I just kept on like listening to my intuition and just felt this flow on the rock. Like I got tension from the right hand, and it was like, it felt like time paused when I hit the hold. Like internally I was like, I'm not holding this. And I just completely like stopped breathing, stopped existing. And then I was like, holy shit, I stuck it. So psyched. This was the end of our trip, and yeah, just like the perfect wrap up. Like it meant a lot more than I actually expected it to when I was getting to the top of it. At first I thought I would be more chill, just like, yeah, cool, nice, but it definitely hit my heart well. Lofoten's the best. It's just amazing here. Is she a proper trad climber now?
I would say so. Yeah, she's done some gnarly kind of free ascent of this thing. I love having like big days,
Yeah.
and a bit of an epic, and getting a little bit scared. I don't know, it's all part of the experience.
Yeah.
If I don't get that, I'm kind of a bit like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.